Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your general reading for the month of December. We're just taking a peek at the energy that is flowing through what's showing up for the month of December. Please take what resonates, release what doesn't, and in case you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate you. So let's see what energy is showing up for the sign of Virgo for the month of December. Now we're starting the month of December. We're already in when this is posted in Sagittarius season, so there has been a shift in the energy. We're going to see where this energy is going. We're out of Scorpio season and into Sagittarius season, so there is definitely a shift and a change in the energy. Let's see what energies are showing up for Virgo. So you had three of them come right out, right all at one time. Wow, very interesting. So, Ten of Swords, Eight of Swords, Two of Wands is showing right up front row and center for you. I feel with this energy, this is what I feel you've just come through. I feel like at one point there was and I don't feel like at what I'm saying a point, I feel like this point was recently. Recently, you have discovered a betrayal. I feel like whatever this betrayal was, that you had felt trapped or stuck or couldn't see something, trying to figure out why you were having a challenging time moving forward, or really manifesting something, creating something, getting something moving. I feel like there was an external energy that was Ten of Swords, eight, betraying you, sabotaging you, keeping you stuck in some way, shape, or form. You take what resonates, release what doesn't. Next card that shows up, and I don't know why I pulled this one. I hadn't even talked about this too. Um, of Wands yet. I feel like once this was discovered, it's giving me the vibe that around that new moon in Scorpio, where you could have discovered something that was, holding, like creating obstacles in your path or creating some sort of challenge for you to overcome. I feel whatever it was disclosed. I feel like you now see it or recognize it intuitively. You may have felt it, so you may not have even gotten the physical validation of this, but any way that I'm looking at it, I feel like there was this aha, now I can see something. I feel like that ultimately brought you to a point on this journey where you made a choice and a decision, maybe to veer into a different direction. I'm definitely feeling making a choice to go in a different way, to take action in a different way. We now see the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the quickest moving knight in the deck. So I feel like whatever this was, wow, look. Ten of Wands, yes, absolutely, right? Um, I feel like whatever this was, it's like once it clicked, I'm feeling once you were clear about something being off, something being wrong, something, slowing you down, sabotaging you in some way. I kind of feel like you shifted gears. You made a choice and a decision. I kind of feel this was unexpected from you. So I don't know if this is other energies around you that were surprised to see you just shift gears quite quickly. Whatever it was, we see the Ten of Swords and the Ten of Wands. Now, there's some tens in this deck that we can get and that we really appreciate and like. Ten of Swords and Ten of Wands would not be those energies, right? Ten of Swords talks about a betrayal. Ten of Wands talks about a lot of burdens. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling somebody was betrayed by being bogged down with a lot of and stuck, like they were having a hard time seeing the way forward, because I feel like there was a bunch of burdens placed on someone's shoulders, on someone's back, and on someone's path, whatever it may be. And I do feel like someone is like, aha, now I see that. That I kind of feel like it was triggered during that new moon in Scorpio, where all of a sudden you went to bed feeling one way and you woke up feeling another. You've seen life in a whole different way. There was a major transformation. There was a quick shift, I feel, um, when it comes to the path you were taking or what was along that path. Definitely just feel making a very quick choice to change gears, head in a different direction, do things a different way. Wow, look at this. Yes, I would agree. Now we have, let me try to pull this back so you're able to see the cards. Hopefully that works, right? There's that Ace of Pentacles. I feel the moment you changed gears, the moment you chose differently, the moment you veered into a different direction, things really started stabilizing and becoming grounded. With the Ten of Wands, I feel like, look, look at, here, let me just pull the whole deck up here. There's that Ten of Wands again. Once you recognize the burdens that were being placed upon you, you took action to close something out, to end something. And ultimately, it changed everything. We go from the world to the Wheel of Fortune right there. And then underneath it is the King of Pentacles. I feel like something was trying to stop or hold you up or block you from moving forward. I almost feel like reaching success. This just makes me feel like somebody who's really working towards manifesting something, co creating something with the universe, developing something, whatever this was. And for whatever reason, it wasn't moving, it wasn't going anywhere, things weren't taking off. And then all of a sudden, there is this aha moment, there is this awakening and realization that there has been something, intentionally. I do feel like it was intentionally betraying you in order to keep you stuck, stagnant, not venturing off, taking a new path, moving in a different direction. I feel someone saw this for what it was, and they, like I said, I feel like they changed gears, went in a different direction, and now they're really seeing things ground, right? They're seeing that seed that was planted. They're planting a seed in a different direction and nurturing the seed. I'm kind of feeling protecting and sheltering it from whatever that other energy was, and no longer accepting that energy because I just feel like it was something that was trying to sabotage. This can relate in many different ways. I'm feeling a certain way about it, but we'll talk about it when I see more energies that show up, if that's the direction that this is going. Again, this is a collective reading. It's not a personal reading, so not everything is going to resonate with you. Take what does, release what doesn't. So the next card that wants to show up, well, I guess it didn't want to because it wouldn't pop out. So let's see, what's the next card that wants to show up is the Three of Cups. So there's Mercury, there's Cancer in here. I'm seeing the Three of Cups and I'm seeing the Nine of Wands on the bottom of the deck. I feel Definitely, I feel like there was an external influence that was trying to sabotage something that I feel not only something you were building, co-creating, trying to manifest, but I do feel like it had a big impact on your foundation, like your home, your family, that sort of thing. I mean, so this could be where you were, adventuring out on a new, I feel, maybe a side hustle, or just bringing something into the physical realm. It does make me feel like there is this energy of using it gives me the vibe of someone who had a thought, an idea, and they were utilizing their creative energy to implement this in a physical way. And I feel that physical is talking about a financial way for whatever reason in this. I feel there was an energy that was around you. I feel like the energy is still around you just looking at this right now. Maybe you didn't get the physical validation, but intuitively you knew something. And I kind of feel like like I said, you changed gears, you switched lanes, you did something. And I kind of feel as a result of that, somehow you're getting the recognition or you're getting the validation of what it was that was blocking you. I feel like you intuitively knew before you had the physical validation. Mercury is in that energy sitting over there. Mercury is retrograde right now. So I do feel like this truth, the information about this or the communication or whatever this is, does get brought to light during this Mercury retrograde. So you get your physical validation. Next card that's showing up is the Strength card. Wow. Yeah. Strength. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Wands. Someone's having the strength, courage, and confidence to release something, to let these burdens go, to let something Yeah. Wow. Very interesting because when I'm looking at the bottom of the deck, right? Look at and wow, I could let me just grab the deck back up. So I feel like someone's having the strength, courage, and confidence to release the burdens. They're recognizing something's weighing them down. So they've taken action. I feel this is you who's taken action. You were stuck for a very long time. You were trying to figure something out. There's Gemini energy. We talked about Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So I feel like you went, within, you were doing some, just evaluation, you were doing some investigation, you were doing something to try to figure out why this wasn't happening, why something wasn't moving forward, why you weren't able to manifest something. And I feel like you discovered it and liberated yourself from it. There's the Eight of Cups. So this talks about you turning your back on a situation and walking away once you've seen it for what it was. And there is that Queen of Pentacles showing up underneath that, which is telling me that you have now been able to stabilize this into the physical realm. It just feels to me like you had someone in your camp who was seeing, knowing, or yeah, seeing and knowing what you were doing and intentionally sabotaging it along your path, along your journey. Let's pull one more card and then we're going to get some clarifying energy. So yeah, I feel whoever this saboteur is, wow. Queen of Wands is at the next one that shows up. And then look, I'm seeing this Queen of Wands, I'm seeing the Two of Cups, and I'm seeing the Justice sticking right out. So like I said, I did feel like this was an injustice. Now, when I see this specific Two of Cups, right? You see these two people, each in their individual cups. They are sheltered, they are surrounded. It's kind of like you can look, but you can't touch kind of thing. This doesn't give me a connection, a partnership. It almost feels like what's for looks, right? That looks good, maybe on paper, that sort of thing. But then you see this energy that's up here, and you can see they're connected with that water energy, which talks about the soul, the spirit, the divine connection, like this. I feel soul energy with all of this. But the Queen of Wands was on the bottom of the deck, and I feel like that Queen of Wands is representing behind the scenes. Somebody is taking action. They're, developing, or they're aligning, tapping into their strength, the courage, the confidence they need to move forward. Like it could have been that, where that is an energy you needed to tap into. Maybe you didn't have the strength, courage, and confidence to take action just on your intuitive sense, what you intuitively were feeling. I kind of feel like you developed that quite quickly. Yes, absolutely. Seven of Pentacles is the first one showing up. So there could have been a point where you just didn't feel confident making drastic choices, changes, decisions without the physical validation. Something tells me that's done, that's over, you gave that up, right? You had the strength, courage, and confidence to trust your higher self, to know something wasn't right, to trust your intuition and act accordingly. We have the Empress energy at the bottom of the deck because something was blocking your growth, your expansion, your prosperity, your abundance is how I'm feeling with all of this energy. I feel like it was discovered, and now you are able to focus your time, energy, and effort onto that creative endeavor you have, this new path, whatever this is that this is representing for you. Let's see what other energies want to show up. So what other energies? Yeah, when I seen that Justice card, I'm kind of like, yeah, there's going to be a price to pay. Like that is no matter who you are, right? No matter what. If you intentionally, knowingly, like with intent to sabotage, block, slow down, that's really not a good energy. It's not good for the energy you're directing it towards, but it's not good for the person doing it either, because ultimately you have to pay that karmic debt back, and that's tenfold. So this is somebody who's going to be under judgment, or justice is going to be served in regards to a situation two cards came out for the next clarifying cards, and we have the Seven of Wands to the Hierophant. So someone is having to stand up, rise above the challenges that have been thrown at them. This is somebody having to stand up, defend, and protect themselves and the blessing that is meant for them. And I feel this blessing was part of whatever this is that they were manifesting, working towards, co creating, doing that sort of energy. I feel like once, and again, it gives me that energy. Wow, look at this. Bottom of the deck, Four of Wands. Absolutely, right? 100%. So once I feel like you tapped in or had the strength to trust your intuition, trust what your, I feel like what your intuition, what your gut was saying to you, and act accordingly, or like act or make moves, adjustments, whatever this was, and trusting what your intuition was saying versus what the physical reality was showing up looking like. I feel like you opened that door to the portal for your blessings, for that stability to come through, for that creative energy to ground itself into the physical realm and prosper. I feel like that seed has been planted and now it's growing and evolving. And again, I do feel it's a result of somebody who's had to really stand up and, take control of a situation, take matters into their own hands, make some changes. There's the Lover's card. So this is about choices, decisions, and it is clarifying the Ace of Pentacles. So Page of Wands, I feel with this Page of Wands, Magician, and then the Temperance Angel to the Ace of Swords. So I feel this choice talks about a new beginning. I feel like this is somebody more mindful, I would say, about the choices and decisions on what they're planting, what seeds they're sowing, that sort of energy. There does feel like there's news, information, or something coming in. I'm seeing a lot of fire energy. So I do feel like at some point there was like this I just feel like this energy of blocking. I don't know why I'm feeling like that. It was creating an imbalance. I know there's been an injustice, or the justice card wouldn't come out. There's some sort of truth or information that's coming out that's going to really bring balance to a situation. But with this Lovers clarifying this Ace of Pentacles, I feel like it was something to do with. A choice, a decision with the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning, and look what showed up, popped right out when because I'm very feeling very drawn to this. The Page of Swords in reverse. This is not a good energy. This is definitely not a good energy. There could have been a choice or a decision in the past. Maybe you made a choice to partner up with someone to, start something with someone. I kind of feel that energy is not a good energy. With the Page of Swords in reverse, this is someone who would either lie, hide information. It gives me a deceptive energy. It gives me an immature, unhealed energy of someone who's just not really authentic is what I'm feeling. And I do feel this is in regards to, it can be partnership because I do see Two of Cups, but I'm also seeing the Three of Pentacles. So this is something to do with someone you were collaborating with, working with. I kind of feel like you were putting in all the effort, or there was an energy of one putting in all the effort and the other one doing nothing but wanting to reap the rewards. I'm also feeling that energy. I just don't like the vibe that I'm getting from it, because it gives me the energy of somebody who wanted in on a situation but not necessarily do the work, right? They want the reward, but they don't want to do the work. So they've somehow connected, or you've made a choice or a decision. I feel like this was in the past. I feel like, again, you changed course. There's something that has shifted and changed. There is the Knight of Pentacles showing up next, and at the bottom of the deck, look, I knew this was coming. I felt it. The Hanged Man to the Seven of Swords. this is the justice that's coming through. Whatever this sneaky energy is, which I feel is right there, like this could have even been an energy that deceived in order to get a choice, a decision, a new beginning to go in their favor. And now I feel like that's like literally crashing down on somebody. Like it's catching up to them. Like they're not who they said they were, or it's just not working out the way it looked or was portrayed that it would, or something like that. I feel whoever I'm talking about, that energy with the Ten of Swords, which we can clearly see at the very beginning. We've seen the Seven of Swords. Them are not good energies. That Page of Swords in reverse, another energy that typical people do not want to be around. That energy, right? This is energy that's deceptive, manipulative. They'll backstab you, they'll betray you in the blink of an eye, not think anything about it if it advances them. And they do often get an instant gratification, a win in some short term way, but the long term will really kick ass and take names. So it's really not a beneficial thing to do, but you can't, some people just don't comprehend that and understand the law of attraction. Anyhow, whatever I'm feeling, where you made a choice, a decision to take a new path, to go a new way, I do feel like you did it quite quickly, unexpectedly. Again, I feel like this is you really tapped in, having the strength, courage, and confidence to trust what your vibes, what your intuitive self is saying to you. And I feel like that literally gets someone caught up. Like someone's going to be, there is a Seven of Swords with the Hanged Man. Someone's going to be caught up in going through an enlightenment and awakening. They're going to have to see things a little bit differently, or look at things, see things from a different perspective. That sort of energy. I do feel I feel liberated yourself from whatever it was, because I feel like there was not going to be the growth to reach that celebratory energy, right? That celebration of stability, security, growth, because there was, if you had this energy around you, because it feels like a sabotaging energy. There's that energy of taking action that was on the bottom of the deck earlier. Yeah, I feel like in the past, intuitively, you trusted your intuition. Look, in the past, you trusted your intuition and took a leap of faith in a new beginning. I feel like this Ace of Cups is representing, and we did see Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles showing up out here. So I feel this is an energy of just really aligning with what is for you, and kind of not, and not even kind of not, definitely not taking forth any energies that aren't in alignment. Like these are not energies that are there to support, inspire, motivate, brainstorm with you, help you grow, evolve, expand. It just doesn't feel like a good energy. It feels like an energy that wants to be around because they can see success or advancement or something all over you that they want a part of. And I feel like they would do anything, including sabotaging you. Like if they're feeling you're not bringing them with you, they're going to sabotage in some way, shape, or form. I feel you have seen this, this, you've recognized something about this. And I feel like you've changed course, made a choice or a decision, moving in a different way, probably not speaking out about the things that you're doing, what you're creating. I feel like taking the lesson learned from that, trusting what your intuition is saying, and moving differently in a different direction. Like if whatever this was, I feel like you've changed something up about this. So we have two cards that are showing up. These are from the self-care wisdom cards. These are intended to just bring you some, um, you know, inspiration, motivation, and encouragement from the universe to help you through this month of December. And we have intention. And this says, what if the only resolution you made was to love yourself more? And this card being the intention, I feel like you started out in a situation with a good intention. Somehow there was a connection, or a coworker or somebody you were connected with who had a different intention, and their intention does not feel to me like it was a good intention. The next card that shows up is the card of the mind. This is that Gemini energy with Mercury retrograde. You are the master of your inner world, and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. That I feel is what you've done. Like you've tapped into your intuitive self, you've listened, you've aligned with it. I kind of feel somebody who, went in directions or made choices and decisions, I strongly feel, without physical validation. I feel they trusted their intuition. They felt something was off, something weren't right, something weren't working. Like I almost could feel this energy. I feel this energy of somebody trying to figure out why this isn't moving forward, why this isn't growing, why this isn't expanding, why it feels like there's one challenge after the other in regards to a situation. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you're finding out that it was because of somebody who inserted themselves into a situation, or somehow were inserted into a situation that were bringing nothing but destruction. I feel sabotage, destruction, keeping you stuck. Like if you had a great idea, this is somebody who would be giving you a million reasons, and you second guess yourself and try to go along to get along, and realize that that's an epic mistake, right? I feel somebody is now seeing clearly where they've been. I do, part of it could be self sabotaging, but I'm definitely feeling there's an intentional saboteur in this energy that was intentionally doing this, right? Next card that comes up is friend. It could be a friend that did this. Be as good a friend to yourself as you are to others. And that's that energy I was feeling, like I said, where, your intention was a pure intention, a good intention. Like you want to see everybody win and succeed. But there is an energy I feel like that was around you that didn't want that for you, is how I'm feeling. Surprise. There's a nice energy showing up. This is the card of surprise. This says release your expectations and be open to surprise. And I do feel like you've released something. Um, I kind of feel like it is what it looks like in the physical, right? Like, yes, maybe it looks like it would be easier to have a partner that goes into business with you, or whatever this is for you, right? Like, have somebody who's going to help you plan something, only to find out that no, like you were better off doing this solo versus with this energy. It's not that it had to be solo, but I feel like the energy that was connected did was not on the same vibrational frequency as you. Like this is a person I'm feeling one has a good intention and the other does not. And then there's the card of risk. This is gambling. Take a chance. Every risk is a success when you're committed to learning and growing. I'm seeing a lot of the same color, this peachy pinky color, so be mindful of that. Maybe you'll see that showing up in your life some way, shape, or form, or you can look up the meaning of that color, symbolic meaning of this. It is like a peachy pinky color. I don't know how to describe it. Feels like an apricot to me is how I'm looking at this. And then you notice there's this one dark card right in the center of all of it. And that is the card that says you are the master of your inner world and you decide how the outer world affects you. Cultivate a calm inner state. So I do feel there is this energy where, like again, I just feel like something intuitively tipped you off or said something to you, or like I just feel like you intuitively knew you had to make a choice, go in a different direction, change something. Like I've changed course, changed direction, and have the strength to do it, trusting in your higher self. The first card that comes out, and these are from the heart, these are from the heart affirmation cards. I have loved these in all of the readings I have done, because they have really resonated with the message that has come out. So the first one for you says, I create healthy boundaries supporting my personal growth and potential. And that's it. Somebody was here intentionally trying to sabotage that for you. They were like, sneakily, like smiling in your face, but doing things behind the scenes. This feels to me like you, and again, that's where I feel that adjustment where you change it up real quick, um, and establish boundaries, enforce boundaries. I feel someone recognized they were something was holding them back, slowing them down, like getting in the way of things moving forward, succeeding, having victory, and they've eliminated that. The next card that comes out is I accept my vulnerability. It strengthens my love of self. And yeah, I do feel somebody was vulnerable. I don't think that vulnerability is a bad thing. I just think, sometimes it's, when you think somebody is your friend, or, someone shows up and I'll say acts, right? Like they're a good person, they have great intentions and things like that. It's really hard to see the spirit of a person, but at some point you do get to see the spirit of a person, whether they like it, you like it, anybody likes it. It always shows up. Your authentic self will always show up. And I feel like this is what happened for somebody. Somebody was vulnerable. They were, I feel with a good intention, right? Their intention was good. Their intention was pure. Their intention was to start something, do something, create something, and grow with this situation. I feel like they connected with an energy that I just feel like didn't have that same intention. And I feel like it's one of those life lessons that we learn from, right? So the next card that comes up, I am clear and open to receive miracles. Yeah, someone has cleared up their mind. I feel cleared up, whatever it feels like we did see the 10 of wands several times. It feels to me like once you release and let go and stop carrying those burdens, whatever those burdens were, I kind of feel like it's an external energy that you were connected with. But I feel like once you did that, you really seen things open up, shift and change, start to align, start to move forward, because it does feel to me like there was an intentional sabotaging of a situation. That's just how I'm seeing this. So take what resonates, release what doesn't. This won't be for everybody. I nurture the child within me. I am complete, whole, and secure. And there's that energy I felt where somebody would do better on their own than they would in a partnership or a connection. And when I'm saying partnership or connection, I'm really getting the vibe that this is something to do with a creative venture. So I'm more feeling like this is like, oh, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and wouldn't it be fun? And then somebody's like, it could have been somebody who just inserted themselves. I'd love to be a part of it. I'd love to help you, and yada, yada, yada. Then never showed up to do any of the work. So meanwhile, you were doing the work while somebody else was not. It just gives me that kind of energy, is how I'm feeling. The next card that shows up says, I anchor the boundless light in my heart. I am divine. And this is somebody who doesn't give up. They're not going to give up. The person I'm talking about, they're going to keep moving forward. They're just knowing what things need to be severed and disconnected from and released and let go of, because they're not bringing forth good intentions. They're not bringing forth authenticity. They're not bringing forth truth and clarity. It's a lower vibrational energy. Like I said, this, and when I seen that page of swords in reverse, perfect example of a manipulative energy that can, this is like, I'm going to say or do whatever I have to say or do to get what I want. And I feel like that did happen. I do feel like it happened in the past. I feel whoever I'm talking to right now, you see the situation for what it is and recognize that long term, that is not going to bring you a win, right? Because it's just not going to. Bottom of the deck says, the power of the universe shines within me. And that's it. Someone's taken their power back. They've made choices, decisions. They've made a choice and decision to, I feel, just change direction or make some cut some things out. I more so feel like it's a connection within this situation. I feel like somebody was never going to grow and reach their fullest potential connected to whatever this deceptive, lying, manipulating energy was. They've recognized it, they've seen it, they've intuitively been guided to move, to switch, to change, to make a choice and a decision to take a different path. I'm not necessarily feeling not doing what they're doing anymore, but I am feeling not doing it with a certain energy that has been around them. So, anyhow, I hope that serves you well. Thank you for being here and taking time to listen to this message. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate you. Have a great day.